This podcast is brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/mediahole for your free 30-day free trial and one free audiobook. There's over 180,000 audiobooks to choose from, and you can listen to them on your iPhone, your Android, or your MP3 player, or your Kindle. And once again, that's audibletrial.com/mediahole. Check them out. Check us out. Give her a good old check it out. Thank you, Audible. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Media Hole Podcast. This is episode 25. We're now legally old enough to rent a car.
Hooray.
Yay. If you don't know what this podcast is, this is a podcast in which we talk about movies, comics, entertainment, television, anime, video games, all sorts of shit, and news in those things and current events. This is another remotely recorded episode, as they will be for the future, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
I'm Nathan, and I'm joined once again by my constant co-host and frequent lover, Ian.
Oh man, this nightmare will never end.
Don't worry, Ian. We'll be famous one day. We'll be the only podcast.
I meant the fact that I can't leave my home.
Oh.
All I can do is play Smash Bros. Over shitty internet.
I hate it. I hate that that's the only game my friends want to play, but I do it anyway. It's the only game
George has that we all have.
That's true.
He does not have Uno, because he doesn't have the oldest Xbox in the world.
Fuck. But yeah, one day we will be the only podcast, and it will be mandatory.
When I rise to power, that's all you can listen to.
When I become the God King of North America, the only podcast will be my podcast.
Yeah, and then also my first thing I'm gonna do is make it so that when you try and look up who was the 45th president of the United States, it just says a steaming pile of shit.
It's just a mirror.
It's just you were. It was your fault.
It's like who was Times Person of the Year in 2006 or whatever it was. It was like, it's you.
You don't deserve this. You should fuck right off.
It was like everybody who used the internet, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's your week been, Ian? How you been doing? How have you been holding up?
Awful. I still go to work every day.
Oh, fuck. When will we no longer need boxes?
When, I don't know. When corrugated plastic becomes a thing and there's a system for them to bring it back and forth instead of throwing it out, where cardboard is, we make the boxes, they put in a fucking bunch of trash, and then they send it back to us and we shred them and make new paper. But, whatever. My job is boring and I hate it.
Nice. Well, I love you for going in and that's, braving the fucking dangers of the world for it.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm getting real tired of hearing about Tiger King now.
Did you watch it yet?
No, I don't think I'm going to now.
You should, it's good.
It's one of those things where, so many people have talked about it, I don't care anymore. I feel like I know every little bit about that show.
Carol Baskin's a fucking bitch. Just kidding, everybody in that show's a bitch.
Yeah, Carol Baskin's a murderer is what it is.
Yeah, they all kind of are. Yeah, there's that one guy who runs, Carol
Baskin's thing, after the thing aired, the local sheriff reopened the case.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was that shit they did with the Jinx.
The one that's fucked up that I didn't hear anybody react to, though, which is weird, is that there's one guy who has, he's called himself, an Indian name, not, Native American, Indian. I forget what his actual name is, because it's been, 7 years since I watched the show. I can't remember. Time's a flat circle.
Running Tiger.
Yeah, but this guy, he's running this thing, and unlike Joe Exotic, who is fun, this guy's creepy, and he's basically running Nexium, but with tigers and rednecks, and so I've started calling it Rednexium.
I don't know what
Nexium
that
is a sex cult, Ian. Learn it.
Okay, I'm sorry that I don't know about every cult in the world.
That was the one that the girl from Smallville was in.
Don't even know who that is.
They were branding women.
They were branding women. Sick. So
Yeah.
she has a sweet brand.
I don't know if
Where
she
did they
does.
brand them? The cheeks?
It's unclear.
The front cheeks?
I don't remember. If I'm being honest, I just knew it was really gross and upsetting.
Yeah.
There's some horrible people out there.
I'm sure people, when someone was like, hey, I'm not interested in being part of your sex cult anymore, they were like, oh, that's a bummer. You can go home now.
Jeez, man, I'm really not into being in this sex cult anymore.
I'm really not into being tossed around between 3 guys at once. Can I go home? Yeah, sure, it's fine.
Can I just call a cab?
Yeah.
Do you guys validate parking?
Yeah, can I go? Do you mind? Do you mind if I just go home?
Just gonna head out.
Or can you call me an Uber? I'm sorry, I left my phone because you said to not come here wearing any clothes. I've been here for like 3 days now, though. And I feel like you're trying to keep me here against my will, because you also said tell your friends that you're going on an indefinite vacation that you won't be back for a long time. And so they wouldn't call looking for me after they didn't see me for a week.
Yep.
Call my fucking Uber!
Good times.
Yeah. When you can't finish a joke anymore, just yell.
Yep. Anyway, let's get right into the news, to steal a phrase from somebody, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Do you want to talk about Cooking Mama?
Sure.
It feels like it's been so like this happened right after the last podcast. This news story came out, and
Yeah.
it feels like it happened a month ago.
Yeah, it feels like something, because all the news that came out was debunked and rebunked like 8 times in a row.
So this is partly coming from an IGN article by Joe Scribbles, I couldn't tell you. It's called The Cooking Mama Game for Switch that came out and then disappeared. The subheading, Cooking Up an Enigma.
Yeah, cooking up cryptocurrency blockchains.
Yeah, so...
But that wasn't real. That was just a guy assuming.
I'm going to read from the article, and then I'm going to read from some of the info that's come out post the article.
Yeah, go for it.
So here's what this is. So the core of this mystery lies in the fact that depending on where you look, Cooking Mama Cookstar is either out now, coming soon, or completely MIA. A trailer on the game's Twitter feed definitively announces that it's available now on a Nintendo Switch. This statement is, at best, partially true. That trailer and the game's website point to a Nintendo eShop version of the game, but if you search for that version at the time of writing, in the US or Europe, the eShop returns no results, not even a coming soon. Even stranger, the game was released on the US eShop about 2 weeks ago, but only for a few hours before being unceremoniously pulled from sale and its listing scrubbed from Nintendo's digital store entirely. Physical copies of Cookstar are a different story. According to some very pleased/confused Redditors, copies have quietly appeared in select US targets of Target. Amazon only lists third-party sellers, at least one of which was set up to just sell this game, implying that the retail giant has no copies at all. In Europe, the game is seemingly impossible to get a hold of right now, and is listed by several retailers for a release later this month, but none of them seem to agree about when. Don't even get me started on the apparent PS4 version of the game, which is listed for sale across the internet, but hasn't been outwardly mentioned by any official source around launch. Cooking Mama Cookstar is, in essence, Schrodinger's video game, seemingly existing and non-existing simultaneously, with neither state particularly easy to prove. So, yeah, there's some images and videos of people who have the game, but it's very rare. Nothing about it seems broken, offensive, or any other level of quality below other Cooking Mama games, is what this article says. But maybe this should have been expected, because everything about the run-up to the release has been very strange. Also
it was dropped on us and said, it's like, hey, end of the month, new Cooking Mama. It's like, oh, alright, thank you.
Yeah, it was also called Cooking Mama Coming Home to Mama, and we don't know when it switched to being called Cookstar. The game was inadvertently revealed by ratings boards in 2019 and had an unlisted game trailer leak with an incorrect release window and non-existent website in it. One of the mysteries is who developed the game. The Cooking Mama
That's been answered.
Well, yeah, this is the original article.
Yeah.
Just by the way. But the Cooking Mama series was created by Japanese developer Office Create, which hit the gold mine when the game started to sell on the DS and the Wii. They changed their name to Cooking Mama Limited, making 10 games in the series, and then changed their name back to Office Create more recently. But neither of those company names are on the packaging for Cookstar. An early classification by the Australian Ratings Board listed the developer as First Playable Productions, an education game developer, but that listing was removed, and the new listing has no mention of First Playable, and First Playable itself makes no mention of the game on its website. Again, this is at the time, which was April 3rd that this article came out. And I tried to click on the website, and the website just doesn't exist right now. The sole mention of the creator on the box is Planet Entertainment, which is a part of Planet Digital Partners, a U.S. company that boasts, in its own words, an all-star team of video game industry leaders, including former PlayStation Europe president, the founder of Take-Two/Grand Theft Auto, the former CEO of Guitar Hero, and hitmaker developers of Halo, Quake, and NBA Playgrounds.
Wow, this sounds like a fucking dream team.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe they fucked up a game.
But that might get us somewhere, but they're not developers on the game. They're both listed as publishers. It's possible they are both the same company and different parts of the same company. But the writer of the article looked up Planet Digital Partners, Planet Entertainment, and found its listed company headquarters was a house in rural Connecticut, which it's not impossible that that's the game dev studio filled with, industry veterans, but that's not likely. Most of those types of people want to work out of a real office. And again, on either of those companies' website, it doesn't say anything about Cooking Mama Cookstar.
Yeah.
And the company's Twitter account was silent since 2019. And then they deleted older posts about the game on some of their websites, which is weird. An August 2019 entry on their website, which had been posted, claimed that the new Cooking Mama would be the first game to integrate blockchain technology on major consoles, which led to widespread confusion. That press release discussed adding in-game currencies, online events, and private key-enabled balanced DRM. And again, this is all stuff about a Cooking Mama game.
Yeah.
And the final paragraph announced that the game would have a vegetarian mode, for which it won an award from PETA. Only the vegetarian mode seems to have made it into the final release of the game. Of those things.
Sick.
Yeah, so the weirdest thing is that it is out, sort of, and people have it, but it's not out.
Yeah.
And this is one of the fucking weirdest things ever. And then when I was looking into this myself, I found out that, Planet Entertainment / Planet Digital Producers or whatever is owned by a company called Koch Media, KOCH. And I was is this related?
Well, that's why the people who, the guy who first said that it was for mining cryptocurrency said that it was a scheme made by one of the Koch brothers.
The Koch brothers, yeah. But
whatever, I'll say it how I want.
It's a different Koch. It's just a common German last name. I looked it up. I was like, no, this isn't the same person at all.
Yeah.
Koch Media is just a large company that happens to own Deep Silver, as well as a few other things. So, anybody saying that it's a Koch brother thing is just being confused by the name.
I think a guy just popped off and he was made a bunch of bold claims that weren't real.
Yeah, I do have a famous Discord post that everyone was sharing, and it's at everyone. This is urgent. Apparently, if you own Cooking Mama Cookstar, uninstall that immediately. It is using your system to mine cryptocurrency and is potentially handing your personal info as well. Credit to Cyber Shroom for the heads up. And then the post underneath that says, the company that published it is owned by the surviving Koch brother. That's not true. The actual owners of Cooking Mama don't know shit about it. Again, this was revealed to not be true. The press release describes it as having blockchain-based DRM. That is true. The headquarters is a house in Connecticut. That's true. If you get your hands on it, it won't launch unless you're online. I haven't heard about that. And Switch network traffic skyrockets, battery life craters, and the thing overheats in about half an hour. I have heard a lot of that is true.
Yeah.
So, as a follow-up, there was an article on Screen Rant where a developer on the game... Yeah, I know, Screen Rant sucks, but they managed to get an interview with a developer on the game who is anonymous, so take this with however many grains of salt you want, but most of this seems to be true. So, there was a dispute between Planet or that 1P Studios, like the publisher and the developers, and the IP holder Office Create. So apparently Office Create kept coming to the developers to either delay or cancel the game because it was considered by them to be low quality for a Cooking Mama game.
Yeah, they care about their IP.
They give a shit. Although I haven't heard that this game's any worse than other than like shit heating up.
I think it's the fact that it doesn't perform well, like it's a danger to systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they were saying to delay or cancel the game due to low quality. And according to this developer, Office Create used their connections. Well, the developers and publishers said, no, fuck it. Like, we're going to keep working on it. We're not going to delay it. We're not going to cancel it. And so apparently Office Create used their connections with Nintendo to remove the eShop page and cancel productions of physical versions. And Planet Entertainment is pursuing legal action against Office Create for lost profits. As per the cryptocurrency stuff, the developer claimed that it was just a buzzword that the CEO had given to investors, and that they couldn't actually put that into a game because it'd have to pass the testing that Sony and Nintendo do, like the regulations and shit, to games before they're added to the stores. The developer guy also throws the engine Unity under the bus because he claims that the problem with the game have to do with it being made on Unity by inexperienced developers. Life is Strange Before the Storm was made on Unity, and that's published by Square Enix. That game runs fine. Like, there are issues with Unity, but it's mostly that it's free and anybody who's a fucking idiot can use it.
Yeah, it's a early...
Unity's a pretty good game engine.
If you're a fucking big baby boy, and you want to learn how to... Okay, I don't know what... That was a weird headline. I just saw it. Well, apparently to independent.co.uk, Terrence Howard believes 1 × 1 = 2. But it just distracted me. I was scrolling through Facebook. Fuck.
No,
Terrence Howard's a fucking idiot.
Terrence Howard's dumb, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get why so many people say that shit.
Actually, I'm sure he was recast, but...
Yeah. I think he wanted more money.
Yeah, probably. Fuck it, I can't remember what I was going to say anymore.
Cooking Mama dumb.
Cooking Mama baby game. I only know one person who was excited for it, and guess what? Their favorite game is Animal Crossing.
No need to throw Emma under the bus for this.
I wasn't going to say her name. You did it.
We say your name in every podcast now.
Yeah. You just gotta go through... that's one of the quotas that has to be hit.
It's true.
Yeah.
I try to pass these scripts through our multiple levels of editors.
Irony.
Yeah. No, like, I rate the script, I give it to Ian. Ian gives me his feedback, and then we give it to the producer, and the producer gives feedback before it becomes a podcast. It's all scripted, baby. Every breath.
Yeah, everything. Anyways, Cooking Mama, trash fire of a game.
That whole situation is one of the strangest situations.
Yeah,
in
it's
video
odd.
game news. Excuse me. Yeah, very odd.
Yeah.
Do you have any news other than that Terrence Howard believes that 1 times 1 equals 2?
No.
All right.
I don't know. I got stuff, but I can just talk about it during my week.
Okay.
We already out of news? Was this that shitty of a news week?
Honestly, I was like,
Well,
I announced this last week. We're working on. We're gonna do this New Mutants. It's gonna be a separate video. It was gonna be a segment of the podcast, but I timed my reading out of my write-up that I made, and it's like 10 minutes, and so I'm like, that's not a part of a podcast. That's its own video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck, did we talk about The Last of Us 2 last week?
I think we mentioned it.
That it was indefinite. Yeah, I think so, because I was giddy. Fuck that game.
Fuck you. I like The Last of Us. It's maybe my third favorite game ever.
My third favorite game ever is Saints Row 2, followed by Saints Row 2.
Wait,
And
so
in
your
first
third
place,
and fourth?
Saints Row 2. My third, second, and first is all Saints Row 2.
Saints Row 2 is your top 5 favorite games of all time?
Yeah. Saints Row 2 is sick.
I mean, it's a good game.
Yeah, well, it's a great game.
It is, but
it's amazing.
I would say it's maybe like on par with Mirror's Edge, which is my number like 6 maybe.
Well, Mirror's Edge is my negative 12th.
Fuck you, Ian. You're telling
Mirror's
me
Edge
you don't
is
like
cool.
Mirror's Edge?
No, I like
Mirror's
Mirror's
is
Edge.
sick.
I liked the first one. Never played the second one because
I did.
Did it exist?
I wanna do a video about it because the promise to do a Mirror's Edge with an open world hub is such an interesting idea, but it's so poorly designed. You're bottlenecked into like so few choices to get through the map.
There's so many games that they're like, yeah, it's open world, but then it's just there's nothing inside those buildings. You can't really go on rooftops. The only game that start to do shit inside is like Yakuza because it's small.
Yeah.
Like in Judgment, you can go into like almost like all the major buildings.
That's true.
And they're also, you can walk around them and shit instead of it being a
You can go
like
into
a cutscene
that.
of eating.
You can go into that mall and jump off the thing.
The Millennium Tower?
Next to the Millennium Tower, the one next to it.
There's a
Camaro
mall
Mall.
inside of it. Huh. I can't even remember right now.
It's where the restaurant is. The mall.
I wouldn't call that a mall. I would just call that part of the Millennium
It's
Tower.
called
Whatever.
Camaro Mall, dude.
Fine, whatever. You're splitting hairs.
You're splitting my ass.
Well, yep, I know. Someone's gotta.
Thanks, babe. Do you want to talk about Animal Crossing?
Yeah, what's up?
I don't have anything more about it. I know people want to talk. I know there's some sort of rabbit.
Rabbit? Oh, fuck that guy.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it ends tomorrow, so it's not that bad anymore. But the rabbit he's there for Bunny Day. His name's Zipper because if you talk to him, so he turns around, you can see the back of his head, and he has a zipper, implying it's a guy in a suit.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah, it's either a human in that suit, like another villager, or it's someone else. And the guy,
It's
shows
another
up.
animal wearing a rabbit suit.
He shows up on one day from the 1st to the 12th, and then on the 12th he's there, and there's an actual event, and that's it. But while he's there, do you know how like you can dig up the X's on the ground and you get like fucking
Fossils and shit?
Fossils and shit, or bells. If
and you can
get
plant
the
those
lucky spot.
bells to do a bell tree.
Yeah, you can plant 10,000 back and you get 30,000 like 3 days later. So, and you can plant a new tree every day. This fucking guy, he shows up and he buries shit everywhere as well. So
Oh,
now,
what a piece of shit.
on top of the 5 spots I have to look for every day, it's now fucking eggs are hidden around, and there's like 5 of those. So there's 10 X's everywhere.
So it's double the work. And what do you get when you get the egg? What does the egg do?
Well, the eggs are actually food, so you can eat them, which is useful if you needed to do a mass like change where everything is, like move a bunch of trees.
But I already have fruit.
Yeah, but fruit can be sold for money, eggs are building materials, and that's it. And there's an abundance of eggs. So also, you know how like if you hit the rock with the shovel, you would get items? Eggs. It doesn't completely replace the items with eggs, but you
Why
do
would
get
I want eggs instead of fucking iron ore?
Yeah. Or it adds to the pool so you have less of a chance of getting gold ore, something that is actually fucking rare.
Yeah, but I mean iron ore is
and
also...
then when you fish,
yeah, you can
there's
also
water
get
eggs. Yeah.
As if fishing isn't annoying enough in fucking Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and I believe they are big. They have a medium to large shadow, so it's like cool. I'm gonna get like a red snapper or maybe even an oarfish if you're not super and like if you can't see the difference between a 5 size shadow and a 6 one. I fucking can't. And if I got an egg thinking I was gonna get like some good shit, even a bat, I would be more annoyed than if I got a fucking sea bass.
More like a C+.
Fuck you. Anyway, this event is dumb. It takes over the town way too much, and it's also give you a bunch of like designs, but they're all egg based and they're kind of ugly. It wants you to be like in the theme of being like, look, it's a holiday. I'm going to dress up my town, make it look like it's like we're all celebrating, and it's like, no.
Also, I mean, why call it Bunny Day? Just call it Easter. Fucking PC going mad. Am I right?
Sure. Yeah, the PC culture is taking over everything.
Political correctness won't let me celebrate the death and rebirth of Jesus Christ in Animal Crossing. SMH my
Jesus
head.
Christ died of Pisces or a Scorpio and came back as a Gemini. Oh no, an Aries.
Well, that's only if you believe he was born December 25th.
Yeah. Whatever.
Which he was not. It was
games. Christianity dumb. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You know what? Christianity only dumb in places where it's the dominant culture.
Yeah. Oh, last night when we played Smash, and I was taught George was like, we got Bayonetta stage.
I saw you had a fucking friend. Apparently, your friend was playing Smash very drunk.
Yes. Anthony?
Do you want to put him on blast?
Why? Why would I put him on blast? He won.
Your friend who was very drunk fucking vomited into a bucket while playing.
Okay, no, he was not playing Smash. He was just in the call.
Which one is this? Is this the one that listens?
No. And I don't know if he was there when the guy who listens was, but Gavin was sitting there. He's just chilling. We're playing Smash still, and we were watching something. I can't remember what. It was
Beastars.
It was Die Hard 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, George says it's not in his top 3 though, so he's wrong.
It's not in his top 3 Die Hards?
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting. So
aren't his top 3 Die Hards 1, 3, and 2?
No, he said like 2, 1, and then 5.
Hold on.
Yeah, 2 is above 1,
2 is
and
the worst of the original 3 Die Hards.
And 5 is the straight up worst.
He's just the actual worst one.
Yeah. So we're watching Die Hard.
You can make the argument that Live Free or Die Hard or whatever is worse because it's PG-13, but at least it's like a better movie.
It's more entertaining, and it's...
If you ever
unfortunately, it's Bruce Willis
in like
being
a
boomer.
Transformers film, then you can like fucking Die Hard 4, at least more so than Die Hard 5.
Yeah, if you like the Fast and the Furious franchise, you might really like Die Hard 4.
Yeah, because it's the same kind of terrible film, but it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, for me, for the Die Hards, for me, it goes 3, 1, 4, 2. I haven't seen 5.
I'll give you 3, 1, 4, 2. That's not bad. 1 and 3, I think in my heart I do like 3 more than 1, but 1
I like 1. I like 3 because it's just there's a lot. Like
I think 1 is
Samuel
just
Jackson
like technically a better
man.
movie. You know what I mean? Like it's just like in terms of like the craft of filmmaking, I think 1 is like a much better movie in a lot of ways. Like it's got some really good camera work and shit like that. But 3 is so ridiculous and still fun and not stupid, or at least like the right kind of stupid.
Yeah, fuck it. Samuel L. Jackson's character as well is stellar.
Oh, he's great.
He's like
great.
He's like a young, like mid to late 30s black dude who runs like a pawn shop, who definitely grew up during like a lot of civil rights shit.
Yeah.
So he sees
His
Bruce
name
Willis.
is fucking Zeus.
Yeah. No,
You don't call your kid Zeus unless you're like, you and that kid were in a riot.
Yeah. You fucking... Bruce Willis is walking around Harlem, 1995 Harlem, wearing in
That
nothing but his
sign.
underwear, saying with a sign that says "I hate N-words" with a hard ER,
Yeah.
and he's like 5 feet away from like a bunch of gangbangers, and Zeus
Hell
walks
yeah.
out and tries to be like, and tries to figure out what's wrong with him.
He's like, hold on, this guy is fucked up in the brain.
Yeah, no, Zeus was like, either, I'm gonna, like, if you're here because you're actually a racist, I'm going to fucking murder you myself, and then I'm gonna call the other guys over here to take the blame. But if you are, like, a crazy man, I'll help you out, I'll get you out of here without you dying. And then he says, I've been forced to do this by a psychopath, and he's like, oh, okay.
And then he said, I'm a police officer, and Zeus was like, I then die.
Yeah. Oh, and then Zeus has like a bunch of lines where it's like, where it's like why'd you? They called him a good Samaritan. He's just like, I just didn't want another white cop dying in Harlem or some shit.
Jesus.
Then one day it's one white cop, the next day it's 1,000, because they're all over the place. But yeah, that movie's
Fair.
great.
It's a
And
good
Jeremy
movie.
Irons is really fun.
Jeremy Irons is great in everything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I
Even-
don't really know a lot of Wait, wasn't Jeremy Irons Scar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was... Wait. Isn't Tim Curry in The Lion King?
No.
No?
No.
What Disney movie was Tim Curry in?
Hold on.
Oh,
let me
well,
look
he
it
was
up.
he was in Fern Gully.
He was in Fern Gully. but I
That's
believe
not
he was
Disney,
also in
though.
a Disney. Hold on. Tim Curry.
Yeah, so the
He
Die
was
Hard
in
movies are
Congo.
sick. Congo?
Congo, the worst Jurassic Park.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, Die Hard's sick. So anyways, George stupid. Gavin is just sitting there. And he's being real quiet. He drank a lot that night, and he's just chilling. And then at some point, he just says, he pauses it. He paused the movie. He's like, guys, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and try and throw up. I'll be right back. He goes. He's only gone for like a minute. He comes back and he's like, you know what? I started to feel better as soon as I got up, so I'm just good here. And then we were sitting there. We were watching the movie and still playing Smash. And then we just hear like, oh. And we were like, Gavin, are you okay? He's like, I just threw up.
Jesus.
Because he fucking like leaned over to his like he had a popcorn bowl next to him and he just threw up in that.
Oh.
So
That's
yeah,
rough.
drank enough that he just threw up on in the chat.
Okay, so I'm looking up which Disney movie he was in.
Yeah.
And it's like not any of them. He was in Fern Gully, which wasn't Disney, and he was in a bunch of shows on Disney, and he was in some of the direct to DVD stuff. Like he was in 3 episodes of the Aladdin show. He was in like Muppets Treasure Island.
Yeah.
He was in the Mighty Ducks film. He was in Gargoyles, the television series.
Okay.
But yeah, like none of the movies. Like he was Forte in the Beauty and the Beast: The Enchanted Christmas direct to DVD midquel to Beauty and the Beast.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It takes place during the story of Beauty and the Beast, but at Christmas.
Okay, it's a weird one.
Because Belle's got to teach the Beast how to be a good person, because that's
Yeah.
what women have to do to men.
Yeah, women. It's women as your job. It is you have to fix a man.
Which, to be fair, the original movie is good about that. The remake is bad.
Well,
The
it's not
the
even
Beast
like
constantly negs Belle in the remake, which is so fucking annoying.
in the original he like sits there and he's like, I don't want to deal with you because I'm a broken human being.
Yeah, he's like more
Monster
three-dimensional
human
in the
being.
original.
Yeah, and then she finds out, and then she like goes. She reads books to him, and he's like, he likes stories, but I guess he's an idiot and can't read, or he doesn't want to damage the
He
book.
can't
He's like,
read with his
I
big,
love it.
stupid hands.
Gaston is the motherfucker who someone needs to change that man because he is awful.
Yeah, in the Beauty and the Beast remake. So the version of that is in the Beauty and the Beast remake. Gaston has PTSD from the war, and that's why he's such an asshole.
Don't justify Gaston. He's just evil.
I know.
Yeah,
and the
that's
other
dumb.
thing is that the Beast negs Belle. Like she's like, oh, I like reading or whatever. The Beast is like, whoa, what do you like? And then she's like, oh, I love Romeo and Juliet. And Beast's like, oh, of course you would. It's like,
Of course,
bitch,
yeah,
it's
you
Romeo
basic
and
bitch.
Juliet. It's
Yeah.
like one of the greatest plays ever written. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, Shakespeare's a hack. Here's my
Shakespeare didn't write
theatrical
the
writing
Shakespeare
degree.
plays. It had to be a rich guy.
Shakespeare did write them.
Yeah, no, sorry, have you ever seen the movie Anonymous?
No, I haven't.
It's about who really wrote the Shakespeare plays.
I've seen the movie Shakespeare in Love.
Honestly, Anonymous is a worse movie than Shakespeare in Love.
I watched Shakespeare in Love with my mom, and she was like, "This movie's great. It's awesome." And I'm like, "Of course."
I like Shakespeare in Love, but it's like half it's a good movie and half it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, you also get Ben Affleck doing a horrible fucking British accent.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's sweet and it's fun and it's whatever.
Yeah, it's about a woman who wants to act or do whatever, and then the guy, whoever plays Shakespeare in that movie, was like, "Damn, you're a woman. Let's bang a bunch."
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
At least that movie is like Shakespeare wrote Shakespeare's plays because he was in love with a woman.
Well, he wrote a bunch of comedies, and then his next one was supposed to be a comedy, and then he fell in love with some woman. I don't know if it was Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
But
It was Gwyneth Paltrow.
no, Shakespeare's wife was Anne Hathaway. Was named Anne Hathaway.
I don't know.
Or is that no? Wait, do I have that? I feel like that's a thing.
Anne
where
Hathaway is a real person.
And yes,
in
but
the
Anne
modern
Hathaway. Yeah, so was Shakespeare, Nathan. But in modern Anne Hathaway also married a man named William Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so he falls in love and decides, and then he writes Romeo and Juliet. I don't know why it becomes dark at the end. I think it was because he changed the ending because the girl left him and then comes back, but whatever.
But yeah, in the movie Anonymous, it's about like William Shakespeare was
fuck
poor.
you. William Shakespeare's spouse, Anne Hathaway.
Oh,
1582
all right.
to 1616. They were married till he died.
I'll give it to you. Now Google William Shakespeare gay sonnet.
William Shakespeare gay. Fuck. Don't delete that. Gay sonnet. No, not sonnet. Sonnet 20 is one of the best known of 154 sonnets written by the English playwright and poet, part of the fairy, whatever, widely interpreted as being male, thereby raising questions about the sexuality of its author. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So he wrote that pretty early in his career.
Of course.
Unless it's like, oh, they're out of the order, fuck you.
The Anonymous, the story of Anonymous is like William Shakespeare couldn't have written these great plays because he was poor. It had to be a rich guy who wrote them, and Shakespeare just put his name on it. But because the rich guy didn't want to put his name on it because he was the bastard kid of maybe Queen Elizabeth or Victoria, whichever queen it was.
It's not. It wasn't Elizabeth because we're on Elizabeth II. I think it was Victoria.
Maybe it was Victoria. And that movie's dumb, and anybody who thinks Shakespeare didn't write Shakespeare is dumb.
Yeah.
because they're either like, I love conspiracy theories and I'm an idiot, or they're like, poor people can't write good stories, which is its own sort of stupid thing to think.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the logic that person probably made, like, was them going, you were uneducated if you were poor back then. So there's no way that Shakespeare could have told stories because he would have had to write them down. And therefore, if he's uneducated, he doesn't know how to write, and he doesn't know how to use the English language. But
that's why he invented all those words.
Yeah, that's why he straight up just lies. The things he says.
He's like, no, here's all these made up words, because there's no word for... I think he invented the word elbow. Like...
Yeah, that was what's that spot? What's this called? This part of your arm?
There's just no name for it.
Yeah, it's like, you mean the arm piston? That's stupid. Let's call it an elbow. Why? Fuck you. Don't ask me questions. I'm William Shakespeare. I will do what I want. I am not gay, I swear.
But as we all know, everyone in history was at least a teensy bit gay.
Yeah. Everyone.
And I mean,
those wigs.
Why did I say that? Everybody is. Everybody's at least in all time.
Yeah.
At least. But yeah. Do you know what I think is also a dumb Shakespeare movie, by the way?
What?
The 2013 version of Romeo and Juliet. Maybe it was 2014.
Romeo and Juliet was zombies?
No. That would have been okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. The 2014 version of Romeo and Juliet does the opposite of what a good adaptation of Shakespeare does, where it's all the language is new, but the setting and story is the same. And I'm like... So,
it's like the opposite of what, the early 2000s... Yeah. Where it's like, everything's modern, except they're all a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, but that movie's fucking great, even though it's dumb. Or possibly because of how dumb it is. But the newer one is like, we got the guy who wrote Downton Abbey to write this version of Romeo and Juliet. And it's like, why? Why would you rewrite his words? Like, I get moving scenes around or eliminating certain parts because, Shakespeare plays are 5 acts and movies are supposed to be 3, so you've got to turn the 5-act play into a 3-act film. But, like, to just, like, remove the language is, like, that's what Shakespeare's famous for, is the words.
Yeah, don't... If it ain't fixed, don't break it. Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I've always been a big Shakespeare nerd. I have a book of the complete works from when I was, like, 10 that I bought. Or that I asked for my birthday.
Yeah. And then your mom had to sit there for a minute and goes like, oh, fuck. Is Nathan gay?
Fuck. No,
there's nothing wrong with
cool.
that. But that's not a conversation you want to have with a 10-year-old. Yeah, you're just cool. Cool kids read... Fuck. Cool kids read Shakespeare.
Cool
Don't
kids
at me.
Classical literature / plays.
Yeah.
I think I'm a touch loud, so I just adjusted her.
Alright.
So, weeks?
Yeah, I played a lot of Smash Bros.
Cool. How do you feel about Smash Bros?
Fucking hate it still.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I'm back to playing, what the fuck is his name?
DK.
Bowser. DK, because fuck this game. I don't care anymore.
That's cool. As long as you don't play King K. Rool.
I'll play K. Rool if I want, bitch, and I'll kill you still.
King K. Rool is the fucking... what's the character name? Fuck, it's gone. God damn it.
What? Okay, from what? What series?
Street Fighter.
Blanca.
Don't shake hands. Yeah, that's it. Don't shake hands with Blanca players.
Yeah.
Don't shake hands with King K. Rool players. Do not look them in the eye. Do not tell them good game.
No, that's Richter players. Then I got a new fighting game.
Ooh.
It's a 3-button. Don't get too excited.
What is it?
Hold up, 1 second. I need to.
Is it Grapple? Did you get Grapple?
Excuse my typing real quick. I want to get the whole name for you.
Okay.
because it's fucking long.
Is it like Kingdom Hearts long?
Maybe. Okay, I'm not. There was a longer version. I can't find it. It is Under Night in Birth EXE late bracket CL-R bracket.
Nice, dude.
That game is
You got
fun.
Uniclear?
Yeah, Uniclear.
Damn.
It was confusing though because me and Anthony bought it at the same time, and
But you thought you bought latest, not late.
yeah, because when you buy it on Steam, you do buy latest.
Oh, you buy latest and
It's
then
an
clear.
upgrade. It's like Guilty Gear with Rev 2.
Oh, damn.
But it doesn't change a lot. And the base version of the game still has the like the other thing, like the
Yeah,
other.
I think Clear has just like a couple new characters, some new story content, things like that.
But the new character you don't get like from buying Uniclear. It's still a DLC.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it says I have it, but who knows?
Cool.
Anyways, that game is really fun. The grid system's interesting once you like. It sounds confusing, but once someone just says, "This is how it works," you're like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah.
It's like you know how in Guilty Gear, if you don't move towards your opponent for long enough, like if you're always on defense, you lose your meter.
Yeah.
In Uniclear, you gain meter from actually fighting them, but then you get to like there's this grid at the bottom, and it's pushing like side to side like you and your opponents. And then there's like a little white circle in the center, and when that circle fills up, if it glows blue, then you got it, and if you double tap A or X or whatever, you absorb it into your meter.
Okay, cool.
So it's like a free way to get your meter. And you want to get your meter up in that game, because if you hit all the face buttons, you can do this thing called Veil Off, where you can just spam supers, like your Terry Bogard, and you're over 100% in Smash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's by the same people who did Melty Blood.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Melty Blood.
Oh, it's an actual sequel? I thought it was just like...
It's same universe. There's like characters in Uniclear that have... There's a Melty Blood character in Uniclear. They're hard to play because they have an ammo system.
Okay.
And then when you try to reload them, you fucking... it's a Gears of War active reload.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That game's really cool.
You got it on PC?
Yeah. I only buy fighting games on PC.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
And
okay.
then I kind of wish I bought Grand Blue as well, but I think that's still $80.
Yeah, it's still full price because it's new. Okay,
It
do you
doesn't
want to...
deserve to be.
I've heard it's quite good, but...
To me, fighting games... I know
It's
there's
got
a
a big
lot that goes into
single-player
them.
component where it's like a beat-em-up RPG fighting game.
Does it? Wait, it does?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. But
a lot of these fucking games they're just like, hey, what's the single player? It's an arcade mode that you'll play through once, and then it's like, all right, is there an online presence in this? No.
Yeah, no. Grabble apparently has really good.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear Uniclear's full title?
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Well, at least
Okay,
this is
what
what's
is
on
it?
the front cover, so this includes stuff below it. Under Night in Birth EXE late in brackets CL-R clear, and
Yeah.
it's underneath. Last night at the dawn, a young man shows up. Hellfire burns down the surroundings. The ice coffin quietly lies. So the time comes. Here, ring the bell of the dawn. The dark night will soon be over.
Yeah, when you actually start up the game, like a match, there's like a paragraph on each side of the screen. Because it's your entire character's backstory given to you every fucking time you play.
That's sick.
It's
I want
funny.
more words. I want fighting games that are just words.
I want a fighting game that I have to watch a 30-minute cutscene to get to play one match.
Unskippable. Your character just pops up on screen, and it's like,
If you skip, you start with half your health because you skip the part of the cutscene where they use a healing item.
It's not even a cutscene. It's the character is in full view, and the narrator just says like, "Spring 1942. The gentle dew drops cleanly down the grass." And then
So
it's
it's
just
like Soul Calibur does that.
It's like Soul Calibur, but 10 of them.
It's 10 Soul Caliburs. People in my Discord have been popping off with Soul Calibur recently, and it's just
Damn.
I
mean, Soul Calibur's cool. It's just not my fave. Like it's a bit.
It's just broken. Well, it's just not like it's one of those games where it's like, hey, can you knock people off stage? Yeah, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's not as cool as Tekken.
I got issues with Tekken as well, but Tekken at least like you can bounce people off the walls. There's more tech. I like 2D fighters because there's a combo game that isn't. I like combos. I don't really like juggling.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, it's the same thing, dickhead. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, juggling is a type of combo.
Yeah,
but I don't want to do the same move over and over. I want to juggle you by pressing 14 buttons and doing sick motions and shit.
If I have to fucking, like, pick my movement, like, my spot to hit you with, like, a particular move, I might, or, like, I'm only going to jab you a little bit, I might as well play Smash. Play Smash with, like, a heavy, because fucking small guys are shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Falco, but guess what? Falco can't kill. If I don't carry you off the stage. Anyways.
That's what I like about Mac, but whatever.
Yeah. So, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing more of Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah, sick game.
So I beat Kaneshiro. It's a very good game.
I beat Futaba's.
Oh, you beat Futaba's?
Yeah. Futaba's final boss fight is now cool.
It was already, I think, fine. It wasn't as bad as the other ones.
I feel like in P5, they make you sit there and wait for a lot of it. Like, it's like, oh, like, you go through, like, 3 turns of her mom... Oh, fuck, spoilers. Her mom doing the dive bomb on you.
If it was in the original game, I'm not going to call it spoilers.
Yeah, I guess. And also, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. It's not like I tell you who the final boss is. I think... Yeah. For spoilers for game, like, yeah, it's a remake. You can spoil some things, but, like, if you just, like, go, like, oh, yeah, and then the final boss, they fucking beat up Satan. You don't.
Yeah, I mean,
in fact, you use the powers of Satan. I think there's a... No, there's a persona called Beelzebub.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one called Satan. Oh, Lucifer, yeah.
There's 2. Because one of the titles of 3, which was SMT3 Nocturne, was Lucifer's Call.
Yeah, you're real good friends with the devils. It's like
the SMT Pokemon
the
ripoff.
angels.
The SMT Pokemon ripoff is called Devil Kids.
Yeah, and also the series is Devil Survivor.
Yeah, there's Devil Survivor and Devil or whatever. Demon Summoner, Raido Kuzunoha. I forget. The Raido Kuzunoha games are dope, though. More people should play them.
Video games are cool.
Video games are cool. Persona 5, though, the Royal, still good. Still like it. I am at the point where I'm playing it less because of 2 reasons, and the reason why that I'm not going to say, or the reason that I'm going to say right now is that I get trapped in the, oh no, I've played the entire game non-optimally, and I'm only level 2 with the counselor,
I'm there
and
now.
In summer, and I can't see him.
And I'm there as well right now, and I have a bit. It's one of those things where, like, I'm done Ryuji's. I think I make this mistake all the time. Is I do Ryuji's, I can't. Ryuji is like a good, like, keep them there. Same with Anne. I also just I'm at the final stage of Anne's.
I'm not there yet, but I'm also not in Futaba's Palace. I'm just in the summer.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, Futaba's Palace is during the summer.
Yeah, but I'm like
you're about to start it. Medjed
I'm not able to get there. Yeah, like Medjed showed up, but I don't. And they told me, hey, you need to steal her heart.
Futaba's Phallus.
Yeah, nice.
Is probably the funniest one for, like, finishing it early, because all the other ones, it's like, oh, this person just goes into hiding, or they just kind of, like, send you one text and go, my bad.
They're bedridden.
Yeah, they're bedridden. They're unconsolable. Futaba's is she just like you finish her palace and she doesn't wake up and you panic and go tell Sojiro and he just turns around and goes, "Why do you guys look so sad?" What are you talking about? She's in a coma. And he's like, "Yeah, she does this every once in a while." But if you do it, the game expects it to be like 3 days, like you do it close to the deadline. So she wakes up on like the 20th.
I do them all on the first day.
When you do them all on the first day and then you do the calling card the next, she sleeps for 23 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, god damn.
Jesus.
So I'm getting messages like constantly where like people are like, "Hey, did you hear? Did Futaba wake up yet?" And you just
like,
have to say,
"No,
"No,
I think she's dead."
Yeah, Shojiro says she's still alive, but whatever.
She's lost so many brain cells for being unconscious this long.
Man, imagine how she would have cured cancer already if she could stay up or slept like a normal human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the mom would dive bomb you all the time in like the other one, like in the other fight, and you kind of have to sit there and guard and heal. This one, she does it once, and then Futaba shows up, gets her persona, and that move, and instead of it being like her telling you when it's coming so you guard, she gives you all a high counter.
Oh, nice.
So it does the damage back. It's just they sped up the boss fight.
Necronomicon.
Yeah, the whole... It's better experience. The game's just good.
Yeah. I mean, the original's good, and if you're like, I don't know if I'll like Persona, should I spend $80 on Royal or spend fucking $15 on the original, and you're not sure if you'll like it, you don't play a lot of RPGs, I would still say probably buy the original.
I wouldn't.
It's not like
I
the
would
original.
say I would say shell out for P5 now.
P5R.
Well, P5R, yeah. It's such an improvement.
I don't like... I mean, Kasumi, whatever, like, you do have to get her to 5 by
I got her to
December, or else
5.
you can't see the new content.
Yeah,
But
I got her to 5. I think, apparently, I saw what the bad ending is.
Oh,
It doesn't
yeah?
look that bad. I think the bad ending is just what happens in Persona 5.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
You just
oh,
don't
the
get to
bad
see the
ending
new
was the
stuff.
good ending. Well, the singular ending of the...
The bad ending was the true ending of Persona 5. But
Yeah.
maybe the new... There's going to be a new true ending, and that'll be canon.
Oh, there is. There's like there's a bad ending, a good ending, and a true ending. And I think you can only get the true if you max out Akechi and her.
Yeah.
Once I get closer to the end of the game, I'm probably going to
see every time.
spoil the conditions if I don't have them maxed out.
Yeah, Akechi you just want to see every time he comes up, because he's got 10 points, and he stops being seeable in November.
He's
so
also
relatively early.
fucking nerd.
Yeah. Also play darts with everybody, and play pool with everybody, because it's really good.
Get those Showtime attacks, which I think also just pop up randomly, but...
Those just happen in the main story, I thought.
Maybe. I don't know. I have like 4 of them now.
I've got 3. I've got Ryuji and Yusuke, although I haven't seen it yet in game. And I have Ryuji and Makoto, and I have obviously Morgana and On.
Wait, maybe that's all I have. I think I'm just bad at counting.
Ryuji and Makoto is just Fist of the North Star, and I think that's great.
Yeah, and he's like, senpai, thank you.
Yeah. I like that she's Kenshiro.
Yeah. Well, she's the punch one.
She is the punch one.
She's got a...
Yeah.
Yeah, game's sick. Go buy... play P5R, because it's a noticeable improvement, and it would suck if you were like, man, Persona 5 was really sick. I kind of want to play Persona 5 Royal now, and you have to put another 100 hours into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with what I did, but that was a 3-year gap. But also,
Yeah.
you know...
Well, I played the game 5 times.
Yeah.
So, for me, it would...
I don't think
like,
it's that big of a deal. Honestly, like, if you're not sure you'd like it, if you don't play a lot of turn-based games, and you're like, I don't want to put $80 down, especially now that money's tight, drop the 15 or 20 or whatever on base Persona 5, play through that. If you get, like, a little bit in and you fall in love with it, then jump to Royal and redo the beginning. You know?
Yeah, but then you still gotta, like... It's like paying $15 for a demo.
Yeah.
And also, the opening of Persona is the worst part. You gotta sit there for like 10 hours before you even get control of the game.
Yeah, it is like a 10-hour
So you could sit there and like fast forward through everything and skip every cutscene, but then you're still like 5 hours in because a lot of that is gameplay of just walking around.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if you're not into the idea of playing it, either borrow it from someone if your friends still buy physical, or wait till it goes on sale. And if the game goes on sale for like $15, if the game goes on sale for $15 and you're like, I don't know, not cheap enough, don't play the game. You don't want to play the game.
Yeah.
I just love this guy that popped off on Reddit because someone's like, Doom's $5 right now. Is it worth the money? And he's just like, you're fucking asking if $5 is worth it for a $60 game, you don't want to play the game. So that's when I bought Doom and was like, I'm gonna play this game. It's good.
I still
Just
haven't
never
played
finished
Doom
it.
2016.
Doom Eternal is a lot cooler. And also, it's a Doom game. I don't know if that picked up or not, but
It did.
yeah, fuck these bitches. And one's just barking outside, and I have my window open because it gets hot in my room because I'm a gamer.
Dang ass.
Pepper,
dogs.
fuck! I gotta close my window.
All right.
Okay. So, video games. Persona 5 Royal is the better remake
Of what? Of the 3 that are on my list?
of
The only 3 games I played this week?
yeah, Persona 5, Resident Evil, and
FF7?
yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about Resident Evil 3. Now, Ian had
Yeah.
already beaten the game last time. I was close.
Did I beat it on hardcore last time, or was I just on standard?
You were on standard and you were going... No, you did... You'd started your hardcore, I think, but you hadn't finished your hardcore.
I have now finished it, and I have done, and I replayed through an assisted run just to get it like on my results, and I finished it in an hour and a half.
Nice, dude.
I S ranked it,
And
I only went. I could have done it faster, but I was opening everything again with Jill to get that thing.
the Master of Unlocking.
The Master of Unlocking. Turns out the game saves it over things. So as long as if you have opened it, if you open it once, you never have to open it again.
Yeah, I'm still missing like a couple of things to read. I beat the game.
I don't know.
unassisted.
Yeah, I fucking don't know where it is for the shit to read. I feel like I've seen everything.
Yeah, so I beat the game unassisted, already, right like the day that I edited the last podcast. And then
You texted me like right after. You were like, you finished it unassisted, and then you were like, and then I immediately played it again on standard.
Yeah, and so then like right after I went on standard and I played through the entire game from start to finish in one sitting.
Yeah.
Skipping all the cutscenes. And now I'm like halfway through hardcore. But like, I just haven't been playing it as much because Persona.
Yeah, apparently hardcore is the last time the game is good.
Yeah?
I was listening to Castle Super Beast this week, and Pat brought it up, and he said that he was like, hardcore's too easy, and he gets that, and it's like, there's Inferno and Nightmare on top of it, but they do like enemy placement switch ups, so you'll probably encounter a Licker as Claire instead of it being only for only at the police station shit. Yeah, hunters probably will appear more, or like hunter gammas will be like, they'll mix shit up more.
Yeah.
And apparently it's just not fun. Like, it's annoying.
I'm enjoying hardcore, but it's definitely harder core.
Yeah,
sure.
well, when I played on hardcore, I just ran past everyone. I only died once on hardcore, and it's to some bullshit. You know the fucking quick time event at the end of the game to shoot Nikolai?
You fucked that up?
I fucked it up. I fucked it up on assisted as well, because it's very finicky.
Okay.
Well, because I was like going for like doing it a little bit too fast, so I like shot, and then where my reticule was, I hit him like in the chest, but the game was like, no, Jill never fired the gun. He takes the knife out, does a quick spin, slices Carlos's throat out, and does a cool throw and hits Jill between the eyes with the knife, and she falls over, and then it's like this wide shot of Carlos on the ground, just like, hand on his neck, just bleeding out, shaking on the floor, and it's like, god damn it.
It's the true end, baby.
And so I didn't want to have any deaths, and I had only saved twice on the entire spot thing, so I went back to my previous save, but luckily it was before Nemesis 3.
Oh, yeah.
And Nemesis 2... Nemesis 3 is... It's pretty easy when you just spam grenade launcher stuff at him. And I also went in full, like, stocked up, like, shotgun, lightning hawk.
Oh, shit.
So, like, I was just a fucking monster. And so I killed him pretty fast. And then killing fucking...
Final Nemesis.
Railgun fight is real easy. Did you use the burst version of the G18 that you get, like, at the end of the game?
Yeah.
That is, on higher difficulties, that weapon is great. Only against Nemesis's fucking body shit.
Oh, yeah?
His plus mar. Yeah, because with the G19, you shoot, and you have to, like, you get that recoil, so you have to, like, go, and then there's also a slower firing speed. If you use the burst one, you can 3 shots real quick, destroy them.
Yeah, the only problem is it doesn't have your scope or whatever on it.
Yeah, but it's whatever. It works good enough for that one section. Those are big targets. You don't have to wait for Jill's reticule to get small again.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Right now I'm in the hospital on hardcore.
Boo.
I like the hospital. The hospital is where the only part of the game that feels like a Resident Evil game.
Nah, fuck Resident Evil. I like the more actiony Resident Evils. Just how I've always been. 5 was my first, so it's kind of nostalgia, but also I'm fine with being underpowered and weak. I don't like the puzzle part of it. And that's a huge part of Resident Evil, which is a problem. I don't like that. Whenever I think of that fucking part in the library, where it's right after you get Mr. X and you have to, like, move the things over so you can make the pathway so you can go to the clock tower.
Yeah.
I just think of having to move around the room, like, 5 times so Mr. X doesn't punch me, and then there's still zombies everywhere. I'm like, God, this is nothing but obstacles. This puzzle sucks.
Oh, I don't mind that puzzle, but
it's not even a puzzle. It's a trial. Fast. It's a puzzle to get the thing down, and then once you have to move it.
Straight up, I was maneuvering, like, I played through that part multiple times, and I never had an issue. Mr. X showed up once, but I just made him kneel.
Yeah, I swear every single time I've ever been in that room, Mr. X, like, spawns on top of me. And then I don't have the ammo to make him kneel, and then there's all the other zombies in the room, so I just get annoyed.
Well,
and then I go back to my closest storage box and grab the unlimited minigun.
No, but I went through that room multiple times. You go through the library multiple times before you get to the part where you have to put the thing down.
Yeah, but they're so easy to avoid on your first couple times that you don't really think of them as a nuisance, so you don't bother.
The second time I went through that room, I just cleared it out.
Yeah.
So, made it a lot easier when you have to do that final bit.
Yeah. So, but you know, I'm a slutty consumer. When's my RE4 remake? If it's not here in a year, fuck you, Capcom.
Never. Fuck that. Why would you ever even touch it? I think I said this last week, but why would you ever touch it?
Money.
You can make just as much, if not more, money by not touching it.
Yeah, you can keep re-releasing the same game. Just do an HD upres. Don't even fucking touch the game.
Yeah, just upres it. Like, that's what they've been doing.
Like the mod that you can get really simply on PC. Just do that on consoles. And also, be cool if you have it on the console, that the HD up... Like, if you have it on PS4, just give it to people for free.
Yeah.
Because it's a real scummy move. Like, fucking, it sucks that DMC3, you can't get the freestyle mode on every other version of the game.
But, yeah, the Switch version... But the difference is that every other version has all three... They're the first 3 games packed together.
Well, yeah, I guess.
No, yeah, the freestyle mode should be in every version.
Yeah, it should have been a patch.
Yeah. Or at least maybe make it timed to Switch, and then
or like a
maybe
fucking
year later you
DLC or
patch it
something.
in.
Like charge people fucking $5 for it. It's like a whole new game. So
freestyle mode plus co-op Bloody Palace.
or $5 for freestyle, $5 for co-op Bloody Palace.
That's how we do it in.
That's how we do it in
North America.
capitalism, baby.
Hell yeah.
So I have been, but I've been reading people. There are people who genuinely want the RE4 remake. I'd probably be fine with it,
I don't.
but
because
I think
the game's fine.
Might have just said this last week, but remake a bad one.
Yep.
Fix an old shitty one. Fix Code Veronica.
Do Code
Fix
Veronica.
Zero.
Do
I
Zero.
can't remember Zero or
Do,
Veronica
do
was good.
Outbreak. Files 1 and 2. Outbreak would do so well.
Do ones that contribute to the mainline story.
Well, I was gonna say Outbreak makes good sense because so Code Veronica continues Chris's and Claire's story, and there's hints to Code Veronica in 2 and 3, so maybe that's what they're gonna do next.
Maybe.
That makes sense because it does continue the main story in some way. On the other hand, Outbreak's really cool because that's the one that's like a smarter, more interesting version of Resistance.
Did you see that that 3 retcon 6?
How?
The whole plot, the entirety of the plot of 6 is that no one knows what happened to Raccoon City in the world. It's just that one day the city was there, and then a week later it was gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a government secret that they nuked it. No one was supposed to know except for the survivors of the city.
So it was never on the news.
It was never on the news. Where in the RE3 remake, you literally wake up to a TV. Well, okay, you wake up to Tyrell, and Tyrell turns the TV on, and you look up, and it's like on fucking Fox News or CNN, like a national news network.
Yeah.
And they just go, "We're about to nuke the shit out of Raccoon City."
Well,
you
maybe
all
it's
know
a
it's
local,
coming.
Maybe all the TV stuff is local, is Raccoon City television stations.
It's implied that it was, like, it was internet. It was national. What was happening in Raccoon City was being reported on globally. People knew there was a zombie outbreak.
Well, maybe they all forgot by the year 2012.
13, but yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
We were in the Obama presidency. We were at the top of our game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may have drone strike children, but he made that funny meme.
He memed it.
Yeah, where he was like, "Thanks, Obama," and we're like, "Oh man, socially you're really good." Whatever, fuck this. Yeah. So I hope they stick with that. Let's retcon RE3.
You mean Rickon RE6?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get RE6 out of there. Don't remake 4. Just do like an HD upscale or whatever.
Well, that's what they've been doing every time anyway.
And then like a full, like maybe just remake some of the textures. Even if they remade the game entirely in the engine, as long as they did it with like a B team and had the other team working on like RE8.
Yeah. Well, there is a team working on RE8 right now.
Yeah, RE Village.
It's gonna be first person again, like 7. Hey, that's cool. That makes sense. Then
I don't know. I have 7 on my wish list right now.
1, 2, and 3. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 are the originals. Excuse me. They're tank controls, top down horror, survival horror, puzzle style games. 4, 5, and 6.
They had a thing on the internet. It was a survey, but it was only for Asian countries. But I just did it anyways.
Yeah.
And one of the questions was, would you have any interest in playing an original Resident Evil remake in the style of RE2? Or an RE3?
I don't know. Like, it'd be.
I think
weird.
it would make that. I think that game would become very easy. In
Yeah.
the new way, but they also, I think that was a lot of people's concerns with RE2 as well. Like
But RE2...
the first liquor scare scene, it was like completely changed because it wasn't going to work with a 3D camera.
Yeah, so that's why they changed the way that the
They changed the
corridors
position.
Are
Yeah.
designed to be more blind.
Yeah, they put more shit.
Yeah.
I think Capcom has some talented people there who can do it.
Yeah, it's just the problem is that RE1 Remake is considered by a lot of people to be the best game in the series.
Then that's cool, but like it's cool that you like it, but sometimes games just aren't accessible anymore.
RE1 Remake is extremely accessible.
Oh,
The
that's right,
RE1 Remake.
Yes. I don't think so. I think the controls will
It's
really
not
fuck
tank
someone
controls.
up.
So, hey, we just lost a bunch of audio, maybe. We were talking about...
Maybe 4 minutes.
Yeah, maybe a few minutes. We're talking about RE1 being remade. I don't think they should do it. Ian made a joke about me wanting to add a Pokemon crossover to Monster Hunter. And I think that would be a good idea, and I want to continue to talk on that.
Okay, fine. We can continue to talk on that. I don't think it would, because I don't think Nintendo would give out a character for us to murder.
Yes, I'm not saying that they would do it. I'm saying it would be smart.
Because Monster Hunter straight up feels violent sometimes.
Yeah, well, if you were like you can straight up climb Pikachu and murder him in this game, that'd be sick.
It would have to be a bigger Pokemon.
I don't know.
And that's also the problem. Pokemon... Well, no, Charizard's only 5'9".
Yeah, but you could make him big.
Gigantamax. Actually, then that's too big.
Yeah.
Monsters in Monster Hunter are like 15 to 20 feet tall. No, 15 to 30.
Monster Hunter has made some ridiculous crossovers already, so like kind of nothing would be surprising anymore.
Monster Hunter World hasn't, though.
No. But I'm saying like on the PSP there was a crossover with Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
On the 3DS there was a Zelda crossover where you can make the Master Sword and wear Link's tunic and shit.
That's dope.
Yeah.
The PSP one though worked both ways. Like you could go to a Monster Hunter island in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Okay, that's interesting.
And you'd shoot the boys.
You just Pokemon's too PG.
So
G, I guess.
So what series would you think would be cool to cross over with Monster Hunter? And by that I mean you have to kill something. I don't want.
I'm gonna think of a non-Capcom series then.
Huh?
I'm gonna think of a non-Capcom one.
Yeah, me too.
Because I could just be like, oh, fucking, let's fight Nemesis 2.
That'd be dope.
It would kind of be cool. It would, and also they have actually that Nemesis 2. That skeleton is probably based off of Nargacuga or Barioth, and no, Barith. Barioth is a different monster. In Monster Hunter World. Not the same engine, but they can pull skeletons and shit around.
Yeah, because there is some crossover to those engines, because of, like, we know that from Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5, there's the monster, the chicken fight is, has, like, the same moves as this, shitty monster in, Monster Hunter World called Kulu Yaku.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. Those
That'd
monsters
be dope.
are giant.
Yeah.
Well, there is a siege there is like the first like scripted hunt you do in Monster Hunter World is to climb on the back of this like mountain-sized monster and just beat up weak points. So you could do that.
I think if I were to make a Monster Hunter, it would be a lot more like Dragon's Dogma.
Fucking do a Dragon Ball Z crossover where you beat up Shenron.
Yeah, Omega Shenron from GT.
No, just Shenron.
No, he must be buff. Only buff.
I'm looking at my fucking manga here to come up with ideas.
It should be crossover with My Hero
I know,
Academia.
I know who you could fight.
You could fight Mount Lady.
You could fight 100 Beast Kaido from One Piece.
Hold on, you cut out there. What'd you say?
You could fight 100 Beast Kaido from the most popular series in the world, One Piece.
How dare you bring One Piece into my home again?
Kaido can transform into like this giant like dragon, and but also when he's just a normal man, he's fucking huge.
Oh, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Check your recording, because now you're coming through the snowball.
I was always coming through the snowball.
No, for the last little bit, you've been coming through your headset.
Okay, well, it has always been on my headset. I mean, my thing there. I've always had snowball. Here.
Okay, check to see if you're still recording.
I am still recording.
Okay.
I have the thing open right now.
Okay, dope.
Here, let me listen back. I'll stop for a second.
Yeah, still the same. I think I might have cut something there. Whatever.
Okay, do we need to sync again?
Yeah, let's go for that.
Okay.
Let's name this one like a Friends episode. This is the one with audio issues. Ha ha ha.
And now onto the piece de resistance. We're going to talk about FF7 Remake, baby.
A game that I have been seeing mostly negative things for.
That's wild, because I've only seen... I've seen some negative things, but mostly positive.
I've seen a lot of people saying, wow, game's really cool, it's real fun, and then I saw one guy go, oh my god, I can't believe they fucked up the pacing of this game, how awful.
So let me talk about FF7 Remake. Fair warning. I'm not going to spoil anything new, but if you don't know what happens in Final Fantasy VII, you've had 23 years.
Hey, Nathan, I'm about to mute you then.
Fuck you, Ian.
I don't want to hear it either. It's a new game.
It's not new. I'm not going to tell you any spoilers for FF7 Remake.
Okay, but then you'll be like, oh, here's what Sephiroth is.
No. Whatever. I'm not... Fine. I'm gonna just say the things that are obvious.
Just talk about Just talk about the opening of the game, because I'm sure you're not farther than that. Like, how far are you?
Halfway through the game, maybe.
Wow.
I'm in chapter 9. There's 18 chapters, supposedly.
Jesus, I'm in chapter 2, but I got stopped and played like a bunch of games yesterday.
I played like 11 hours of the game since Thursday.
And now you're on chapter 9?
Yeah.
That's a lot faster than like the old one.
What do you mean than like the old one?
Oh, well, I guess it's not, because if you were halfway through the old one at 11 hours, you'd be like, are you fucking speedrunning this shit?
Yeah. So the original is 40 to 50 hours to play through. This game, if you do everything, it's about 35 hours in a playthrough. So it's not like anybody who's like, is it short? It's not. It's the right length for that type of game. But I think I really like FF7 Remake. It's fucking great. Its gameplay is fun. Its interactions are great. The voice acting's really good. The visuals are gorgeous, except for when you're having pop-in issues.
I found one bad voice actor in the whole game so far. It's just this like lady you like walk up to. It's for like a side quest. Her name's Gwen or some shit. After you killed like a lesser Drake, and she just she kind of just talks shit on like you.
Oh yeah, that
like
character.
Shinra, and then on Mercs. And then Cloud just goes like, you need people to follow orders. And she's like, fuck you, then I don't need your shit. But she just kind of reads it very flatly.
Yeah. There's like a couple lines that I think the voice actor for Biggs kind of doesn't do a perfect job, but, you know.
Yeah, he's alright, though.
Because he plays it cool, calm, and collected, but there's a point where you're like, where everybody's like, wait, what the fuck? And like, he still plays it cool, calm, and collected. And I'm like, could you... act surprised, please.
Yeah. You know what I don't like?
What?
Thing in the game. They did this in Final Fantasy 15 as well. Like, if I switch characters, just let me stay as the switched character sometimes. Yeah. Like I'm fighting like these things. My Cloud wasn't really doing shit, but Tifa was doing work. So I switched to Tifa like every fight, and I'm like, I have to do this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, just let me walk. I don't see what the problem is letting Tifa be the one to walk around.
So I think the idea is that in the original, when you're walking around, you're Cloud.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but, like, that's just always who you are on the map, is Cloud. Except for, obviously later in the game when Cloud's not in the party for a little bit. But, anyway, that won't be in this one. You'll forget it by the time the next one's out. But anyway, in FF7 Remake, it's again, I want to just keep saying, very good. I'm very happy with it. It's kind of like the bastard child of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15, And I feel like the Kingdom Hearts stuff in the combat's what's really good, and the Final Fantasy 15 stuff in the combat is like, it works, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. I wish either items or magic didn't use ATB, because there's now no difference between magic, and mega potions don't work how they should, because they're supposed to be group heals. Instead, they're just really good heals.
Oh, that's lame.
Yep. But it sucked because I was like, oh, I'd love to have an item that can heal everyone in my group. And then it's like, oh, I got a mega potion. And it's like, oh no, it just restores 1,500 health to one character. And I'm like, that's not what it's supposed to do. Anyway.
Yeah,
that's so minuscule.
It should be a quick heal. Yeah, that's also, that doesn't really, it's not a pacing thing.
No.
That's the only thing I've seen complaints about.
I'm going to talk about the pacing now. I've sucked this game's dick. It's gorgeous. It's fun. It's amazing. Let's talk about pacing. So the parts of the game.
Let's talk about something people throw out as a term a lot, and then they're actually just complaining about minor things that you can skip.
So like the side mission stuff, you can choose to do it or not. I like the side mission stuff. It feels like it was always there. Like that.
Yeah,
the opening up of the second chapter where you can do all those. There's 6 side missions. That's it. Like there's not a lot. The opening up of that, I think, feels really good. It's really cool. The missions are short and sweet and to the point. They let you gain more levels. It's good. My problem is, and I might be misremembering which chapter numbers they are. So chapter 4 is completely original, but it feels fine. It works. You get to do some motorcycle stuff. You get to do some story world building, character arc giving, great stuff. It works. I'm happy with chapter 4. But leading up to you blowing up the second reactor...
There's a second reactor? Nathan! Come on! Alright, I'm joking.
Yes. I was like, everybody knows this.
There's probably like fucking 8 reactors.
There's 8 reactors, but there's 2 that you attack in the story.
At least see, and also, at least did they ever find out that Jesse didn't fuck up?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Anyway.
I don't want her feeling sad.
Oh, don't worry. Those feelings...
I know, Nathan.
Those feelings will be crushed soon enough.
Okay, good. I'm glad that my feelings will be just flattened, like all my concerns will be pushed away to the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. It's like there's going to be, something is going to bless you from up above, and it's going to flatten all your feelings about Jesse's problems.
Great.
Anyway.
Let's move on.
The going to the second reactor, though, they've added, 2 chapters of getting there. And it's so clearly filler. And it feels like filler, and it's not fun. The cool thing is, it's the first time where you get to have 3 members in your party. It's you, Barrett, and Tifa. That's dope. It feels good to have all 3 of them at once. It's cool. But the section, you're, going under this part. And not only is it, essentially you're in this grate, right? And you can see, the lower level underneath you. But it's so clearly a skybox/JPEG. It doesn't look 3D at all. When you're way up in the sky, it just looks completely flat below you, which is a damn shame, because I'm like, this is a great view. It'd be great if it looked like there was something beneath me, but there isn't. And so it's just filled out so much. They did change it so that there are certain parts of one infiltration that aren't in the other. Whereas in the original game, the opening and then the second infiltration of Reactor 5 are almost identical. But in this one, they're very different. But to get to Reactor 5, it's this long section where you're doing these things and you're running back and forth, pressing buttons, and it sucks. It's just so not fun. It kills the pacing, and it feels like filler. And it just feels like it's there to make the game long. The addition of ghosts existing, I don't think that's a spoiler, because it's early in the game that you see it.
Yeah, no, as soon as you meet Aerith, the ghosts are there.
Yeah, so the ghosts coming through the entire game is weird.
Were they like was it kind of like Sephiroth in the original where they didn't show up till like later on?
They're just not in the game.
Oh, okay.
They're just,
were they an Advent Children thing?
I don't think they're in any of them.
Oh, all right. So it's a new a new choice.
It's a completely new element. And like you have hinted, so Sephiroth shows up throughout the game now. Again, in this section of FF7, I'm okay with that because obviously like it could be a flashback for Cloud, but in this section of like FF7, he really doesn't show up. They only talk about him. You only start seeing him like when you get to the Nibelheim flashback section, and then you get to like further through. There's more flashbacks to Nibelheim and what happened there in this section, and they really do play this angle where there's just so much more flashbacks happening. With Cloud like glitching, which that did exist in the original, but it wasn't as frequent, and I feel like it is playing some of its hand a bit too obviously. But again, it is a twist from a 23-year-old game, so leaning more into it is okay. But for whatever reason, I've started noticing that there are not just flashbacks happening, but also flash forwards.
Yeah,
which is confusing.
I kind of saw some things where I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, you see one pretty early in like chapter 3, is like more of a flash forward than a flashback, and there's one especially where when you meet Aerith for the second time, you get a flashback that harkens to a very iconic scene from the original FF7. It does not show you the big thing that happens in that scene, but it just shows you some of its aftermath, and I'm like, wow. Why does
so they're spoiling their own game in their game?
Yeah, right. Sorry, but like,
I
was like, that's such a weird choice. Is Sephiroth real? Is it just him, and he's like now time traveling, putting future memories in your brain? Is it not like a PTSD induced flashback? Who's to say?
Who knows?
It's a very strange choice to me. I love. And the ghosts change how you, not how you, but like, and you know what? That's somewhat of a spoiler. Never mind.
Well, thank you for considering yourself.
Pretend I didn't start saying that. But anyway,
it's all right.
The stuff with Aerith though is great. She's really well done. I like her characterization a lot. I don't like how she doesn't start joining battles until a little bit later after you meet her, because right when you meet her there is a hard fight and she just stays back. I mean when you meet her for the second time, which is chapter like 7 or I was something. I don't know.
Like, because chapter 1 she gives you the flower.
No. Chapter 7 or 8 or something.
Chapter 2.
Yeah.
No, she gives you the flower.
She gives you the
really
chapter
early.
the flower in chapter 2.
And she says it's for reuniting lovers, and then you go and give it to Tifa, and I cry a bit because that's so sweet.
I love Tifa.
I love her.
And then later she's like, "Who'd you give the flower to?" And Cloud's like, "I didn't remember."
Wow, Cloud, you liar!
But yeah, Aerith's really good. A lot of her dialogue in the original made her seem kind of dumb. Like, she's like stupid and raised by a hippie.
Like vapid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because she's this flower girl, and she's like, she just kind of...
She's a hip... Yeah, she's a fucking hippie.
She's a hippie.
She's Barrett, but with more peace and love.
Yeah. So they made... In the original, she seemed a little bit dumber, and that's mostly in, like, obviously it's been years, and that's just how, like, the game was written at the time. But now she's a lot smarter and cleverer, and she plays jokes, but she's still very nice, like, peace and love girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. All in all, the game's great. If you were worried about this game, it's good. Are there pacing issues because they've taken a 5-hour section of a video game and turned it into a 35-hour video game? Yes.
Was it 5 hours only?
Yeah, Midgar was like 5 hours, maybe 8. I'm maybe misremembering it.
I feel like I've always heard people say Midgar is like 20 hours of the first game.
No.
Alright, so are you familiar with Chris O'Neill?
Oni plays, yeah.
Oni NG, yeah. So, he is not enjoying the game.
Really?
He put out a tweet on the 9th that said it just says, here's a great idea. Let's take a universally loved game that had perfect pacing, and then include the absolute worst kinds of video game bullshit, tedious padding objectives to stretch out the game so actual story takes 5 times longer to get to.
Again, that is an absolute
That sounds
complaint.
like he's just doing...
No, that's
but like
totally fair.
If he might just be doing all the side stuff, and it's like, bro, it's side. Just leave it.
No, it's totally fair. They have expanded the game out in a lot of ways, especially if he's beaten it. Like, again, like, they've taken a game, like, the original FF7 is 40 to 50 hours, and they've taken the first chunk of it and made it into a 35-hour game.
Because video games are long now.
Yeah. So I get they did pad it out. They did add a bunch of extra bullshit. Some of that is side stuff. Some of that is just the fact that rooms take longer. There are more fights. There are more spaces. There are more scenes, and there's more like bullshit. Like Jesse and Biggs and Wedge have way more stuff with them. And if you're somebody who's like, yeah, I'd love to slow down and take this slow look at what was originally like a fast-paced section of the game, then yeah, you're going to enjoy it. But if you're somebody who's like, I liked that this was fast-paced so we can get to the slow pace of the main game faster or whatever, then you're going to think that this is stupid and a waste of time.
Look, new game good, old game bad. That's all I gotta say.
Old game, fantastic. New game, good, but not a replacement.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. The old games...
So that's why an RE4 remake is perfectly fine, because the old game still exists.
Yeah. Well, like, it's like you can play FF7 and FF7 Remake on your PS4. So, play them both, baby.
Yeah. Make a remake like how fucking Halo 1 Anniversary Edition did their shit, where
you press the button and it switches the graphics.
Yeah, but the funny thing is it shows that it's like, wow, your remake sucks. Have you fucking Halo 1? Like, yeah, the lighting system is better, kind of, but like everything else about the Halo 1 remaster looks like shit.
Really?
Yeah, they just added in a bunch of extra detail. They even changed like the color scheme of like areas. It's not as good.
Yeah, that's like the Batman Arkham remasters. They tried to put it into our UE4, and like it wound up switching the temperature of the lights in every scene. Like the lighting's better and the textures are nicer, but like just the way it looks is like almost completely different.
Did you see the duality of man posting for Kotaku right now?
Oh, you mean where there's the one article about Final Fantasy VII Remake on easy is too easy, and they updated that within hours, and that there was another article where they shared information that their sources didn't want them to put out when it was regarding like a sexual case, and
no, the duality of man is not that deep.
And it took weeks for them to change it. Yeah.
No, the thing is they posted that so they changed the title to the difference between Final Fantasy VII's easy and normal mode is too drastic, but the original tweet is Final Fantasy VII Remake's easy mode is way too easy. Where months ago, last year, when Sekiro came out, they made an article saying no game has ever not benefited from having an easy mode.
Yeah.
And
I think
maybe think about what you write, guys.
Obviously,
And then
Kotaku isn't one person, and both those articles
Yeah.
were written probably by different people. But yeah, it's dumb.
Or maybe come up with the second title that you
the
changed
second
the
title's
title
better.
to.
Like,
Yeah.
because I'm like, yeah, that's probably true.
Because I feel that in games. There is a lot of times where it's like, the normal mode is just like, it's fun,
yeah,
but it's like, whatever. Then you go to the easy mode and it's like, I'm killing everything in one hit.
yeah. You're like, I want something in the middle that's gonna offer me some challenge, but not gonna fucking toss my nuts every fight.
The normal difficulty should be the way the developers intended you to play the game.
I think that is true of FF7 Remake, but it is a bit more challenging than other more normal modes for similar games.
That's fine.
Like, it's tougher
But,
than a Kingdom Hearts normal mode, I feel.
First reply I'm seeing here is probably because I follow her. It's Alana Pierce saying, if it's too easy, it's probably not for you. Think of people with disabilities who are thankful modes that require less technical inputs exist.
Yeah. Or like
Not the easy mode isn't for people who don't want to play the game or want to breeze through it. It's for people who sometimes physically cannot play the game, or children.
Yeah.
Like, the assisted mode is for people who want to play Resident Evil but don't care to to have the stress of like aiming when there's the stress of dying.
Or like, I don't want to have no ammo, or I want to start with a machine gun.
Or I want to experience the game, learn it at a more reasonable, easy pace before I play it for a challenge. I don't want to just throw myself into the challenge, get frustrated, and quit.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And like, I'm all
Like,
for
there's-
playing easy modes of games, especially games that have like weird combat or combat you don't like that you want to experience the actual game of. See like Witcher 3, for example.
Yeah. I've even though I am a person who likes difficulty in video games, when I was playing The Witcher, it was on the easiest setting because I don't like the combat in that game,
Yeah.
but I like the story.
Or like, if you're me, for example, like I like playing DMC games for my first try on easy, so that I can get a
Yeah, I don't get that
handle.
one because I think easy is way too boring.
I can get a handle on the how it plays and things like that, and like the tricks.
Yeah, I see your logic.
Because I want to
with
test
DMC. I
out
have
what
just a
combos do
problem
what.
with that. Yeah,
Like,
it's just that you can't really do a full combo on a lot of enemies because they die like immediately.
it's not that big of a difference,
Yeah.
especially like 3, which I played most recently.
I've been playing Doom Eternal on the 3rd highest difficulty. But I think I'm at the point where I have to drop it.
Damn.
You get to a boss, which I know becomes a common enemy, where you literally have to stay the perfect distance away. You have to parry them with your shotgun when their eyes flash green.
Mm-hmm.
They have a shotgun as well that does like all your health if you're close to him, and they have an axe move that they hit you with if you get too far away, and then they can also throw out a small ad of a dog that also hits you and takes a quarter of your health. And I'm like, this is too much.
Jeez, it's wild.
Yeah.
You know what? Much like every other action game, FF7 is at its best when you're playing against a enemy that has a similar, like, is a human person with a similar moveset to yours.
The Virgil effect.
Yep. There are multiple. They've added several Virgils to this version of Final Fantasy VII because the real Virgil doesn't come until the end of the full game, and he's not really a Virgil because he's
not your brother.
Not your brother, but also, well, actually, you know what? It's questionable. Maybe they will. Maybe he is.
Who knows?
Who's to say? I don't want to spoil Final Fantasy VII. It only came out 23 years ago.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's really
But-
cool.
but
to
on the other
definitely
hand-
come up with that and not threat of me leaving.
But on the other
if you
hand,
spoil
at the
it.
end of Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. That game came out 2-3 years after Final Fantasy VII, and yet everybody knows the twist.
that movie.
Huh?
That movie.
Yeah.
You said game.
Did I say game?
Yeah, you did.
Sorry, dude. Too much of a gamer.
That fucking fuck. The Sixth Sense has one of my favorite JoJo facts about.
Oh.
One of my favorite things in JoJo
Is Jolene spoils it in part 6?
She spoils it in part 6, but in part 6 happens in like 2003.
Well, yeah, it came out in 2003, but it takes place in 2011.
But while it was being written, no. Wait, when it was being written,
it came out in
the Sixth
2003.
Sense just came out in Japan.
Oh shit.
So when Araki wrote that line of her saying, "Oh, I know that one. That actor is dead the whole time," and it's very clearly Bruce Willis on screen.
Yeah.
Or she says, like, "I know The Sixth Sense. I watched it with my dad when I was a kid or something."
Yeah, because the story takes
and
place in 2011.
she just straight up says that he's... Yeah, but the movie had only been out for a week, so Araki, on his downtime, went and saw it and then wrote the spoiler into his fucking manga.
That's so good. That makes me kind of
So
happy.
you got the chapter next week and was just like,
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
That's so funny.
That's a funny spoiler.
That's good.
Yeah.
But also, was it in the song Jizz in My Pants by Lonely Island?
Was it?
When Bruce Willis was dead at the end of Sixth Sense, I jizzed
And I jizzed
my
in my pants. Yeah. Good song.
Good song. Classic internet humor. Lol.
Yeah.
So random.
Andy Samberg, funniest man alive.
Andy Samberg in The Lonely Island. Very good. I love Popstar.
Yeah.
What a good movie.
Are you okay?
Did you not like
Are you memeing
Popstar?
now? No, I love Popstar.
Okay.
But the way you said it was in that tone of being like, I actually hate the thing that I'm acting like I like.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to.
Popstar is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man.
That whole movie is just like, what if NSYNC was the Backstreet Boys?
Yeah. Or like, what if Justin Bieber was the Backstreet Boys?
No, because Justin Bieber was never a solo act. I mean, never a group act. Where NSYNC was a group act, and then they had Justin Timberlake go solo and forget the rest of the band. But a 3-person band, and they did a lot of like hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
Like the origins of that group is very Beastie Boys-esque.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of like white Jewish rappers on stage,
That's also
which is
true.
the Beastie
Yeah,
Boys. And then it's like if Ad Rock went solo and had like a successful pop career.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah. So that's why I say it's like the Beastie Boys mixed up with NSYNC.
Well, you said Backstreet Boys.
Fuck, did I? I meant NSYNC. They're like the same. Who cares? They're all generic.
No,
white
no,
dudes.
sorry. You were like, if Backstreet Boys were in sync.
No, I said Beastie Boys.
Okay, then I misheard you, and then I repeated Backstreet Boys back to you, and you didn't say anything
Yeah.
about it.
I think I just might have thought you were talking about NSYNC.
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyways, FF7 good, new game good, old game bad. That's how time work.
Sure. Ian, I'm glad you like FF7 Remake because it proves that you would like Kingdom Hearts if you played it.
No.
Yep.
Because I played Kingdom Hearts 1.
They're the same game.
No, they
are.
I am on a very good authority that fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 is bad.
Well, Kingdom Hearts 1's combat isn't there yet, but post Kingdom Hearts 1, it's the same type of game as FF7 Remake.
I have been told hundreds of times to skip Kingdom Hearts 1 and just go play Kingdom Hearts 2.
The combat is worse in Kingdom Hearts 1, but you won't understand anything that's happening in 2 if you don't play 1.
Well, the guy who's telling me this is obviously a Kingdom Hearts man. He's like played all 30 fucking games or whatever it is. So he was like, I'll just tell you the story.
Oh, well, I could also just
Or
tell
I
you.
could just go find a YouTube video of like a guy
Kingdom Hearts
breaking it
1
down.
isn't terrible. It's
2 hours.
good, especially if you're playing the HD version. It's good. It's just not as good. Because 2,
It's just the combat.
2 is like fucking Devil May Cry 8. Fuck you. No, it's
No.
not quite, but it's like, I don't know. It's better than God of War.
Sure, I don't know. I don't like God of War.
I mean, like, even classic God of War.
Alright. Well, that's your opinion, sir.
Yeah, but you know I'm right, because everybody who likes God of War is just too lame to play Devil May Cry.
Sure.
Listen, we both know it. We got it. We have a podcast. We have to make hot takes. And my hot take is, if you like God of War, you're like, well, I would like Devil May Cry, but I'm too white.
I'm too white to like Devil May Cry.
I can't like Devil May Cry. That's made by them Japanese. I gotta play the one made by white people.
I'm Japanese. It's almost racist.
Huh?
That's almost racist.
I said Japanese.
I thought it sounded like you said Japanese.
No. I must have cut out.
Yeah.
No, I said, you know, whatever. I don't need to repeat the joke. It was already funny the first time.
Sure.
But yeah. What else you got
Yeah.
for me, Ian?
Nothing. I finished Clone High this week.
Oh, sick.
Because we would get drunk and then we'd be like watching stuff and then be like, oh, we're out of things to watch. Whatever, let's watch Clone High again.
That's dope. That's cool.
And then we so did you know like the last 3 episodes of Clone High never aired in the States?
Yeah.
So there was like one of the guys who was a big fan of the show had literally never seen the final episode.
Damn.
Where they go into cryogenic freeze. And as a setup that they're just going to reset and be like, season 2, back at you.
Are you just as cheesed as I am that the joke in the background of Spider-Verse doesn't exist?
Which one? Oh,
in the back,
Clone High season 6.
No. In the background of Times Square, there's like a bunch of advertisements for things that don't quite exist but are almost, like From Dusk Till Dawn as a sequel to Shaun of the Dead.
Isn't there a Clone High
But there's
one?
Clone College, the movie.
Oh, yeah. Clone College. And it's a picture of Abe and JFK.
Yeah, and then one of the ones is in the background as well is like a poster for a Seth Rogen movie where he's on a horse.
Yeah, Hold Your Horses. That was one of my favorite ones.
And then there's like one for Oh Hello, but it's not Oh Hello. It's like something else.
It's Oh Hi There.
Oh,
some
something
shit.
like that.
Yeah, then there's From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, I love From Dusk Till Dawn because I would love to watch a sequel to Shaun of the Dead. But I don't know if I would take that over having Hot Fuzz or Scott Pilgrim or The World's End or Baby Driver.
Oh, the Oh Hello, it's called Hi Hello.
Oh, Hi Hello.
Yeah. Snapchat is called Peekaboo. Clone High's sick. The show's really funny.
Yep.
Like earlier, my sister said she was just gonna litter something on the way home. I'm like, man, don't fucking litter. That's how Ponce died. Because one of the episodes is Ponce de Leon, who was straight up the Fonz in the show. Fucking, he made everyone think it was cool to litter, and he says, it's not like litter has ever killed somebody. And then instantly, like those fucking like those plastic rings you get on beers get stuck in his hand, like chip debris comes and cuts up his entire body, and a plastic bag comes on his head. He falls over backwards, hits his head lightly on like a plastic bottle, and then and then the cut that he supposedly got bleeds and he chokes to death. It's very brutal for a cartoon.
That's funny.
But it's just like the whole episode is them talking about littering. And there's a part where JFK goes he's like, I deserve to be buried with him. And he hops into the casket and closes it. And then he pops up a second later screaming, that's a dead guy! Yeah, fucking watch that show. It is phenomenal. There's a reason why Phil Lord and Chris Miller got, like, all the shit.
Are legends now.
Yeah. Do you know who else helped create that show?
I want to say somebody I've heard of, but it's not coming to me.
Kind of. Bill Lawrence.
Yeah, the guy who did Scrubs and Cougar Town.
Yeah, that's why there's tons of dudes from Scrubs. Like, Donald Faison is a recurring voice actor. Neil Flynn is as well.
Nice.
Neil Flynn actually plays himself on an episode.
That's dope.
He plays his character from Scrubs, but nice.
The janitor.
He's a janitor. He was Ponce's dad. Ponce's foster father. And there's a fucking part where they're at the funeral. He's saying a eulogy. He just started speaking, and Principal Scudworth pops in. He's like, hey, there's a bunch of trash out there. Can you go clean it? He's like, I'm doing a eulogy. This is my son's funeral. And he's like, yeah, your son will still be dead once you finish, so go get to it. And he throws a mopping bucket at him.
Jesus Christ.
That show is a solid 10.
Yeah. Scrubs is good. It's funny because, like...
Scrubs is great as well. Scrubs is great because it's, like, gets the emotion.
Yeah, it's got a bad rap.
because it was very Family Guy-esque. They did the cutaway jokes as well.
Yeah.
They had the zany shit that doesn't make sense. They had it's like this time and this happened. It's like, and they weren't always like good,
I feel
but
like it
sometimes they were
works
funny.
better on Scrubs, but I think that's because I find Zach Braff, even though I don't think he's like the best person in the world, I find him a lot more likable than Seth MacFarlane.
The thing with Scrubs is it was imaginations and callbacks specifically for JD's mind.
Yeah, it was
Where
actively
in Family
in his
Guy,
head.
in Family Guy, and he's always like looking up, and it cuts back, and everyone's aware that he just had this fucking flashback or vision.
Yeah.
Like there's times when Dr. Cox would say something, and he would just like do that. He would go to move his head in the way, and he'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, princess, don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you here. This is a lesson." And like it's a bunch of fucking Dave, you don't fucking cry at that Brendan Fraser episode, you're a goddamn monster.
Yeah. I love Brendan Fraser. Fuck, I want to watch The Mummy again. That movie's so good.
That is literally the best mix-up in television history, where the entire time you think you're going to his kid's birthday party.
And it's the funeral.
Yeah, and he's talking to Brendan Fraser, but actually he's talking to himself because he already died.
Yeah.
And there's an earlier scene where you realize the moment where he's dead when you rewatch it.
Yep.
Because Brendan Fraser just kind of pops out of nowhere while they're in while he's looking through like an operating room window, and he's like, "Well, that sucks." And he's talking, and he turns around, and JD's there, and he says some shit about like, "Oh, everyone's gonna be taking pictures with my kid. He's never gonna fucking remember this, and he doesn't know any of you people." He's just like, "Where do you think you are right now?"
Yeah.
And it does a pan, like, you're at a fucking funeral. This man just had a mental break because his best friend died, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's stellar. It's amazing.
I
it
can't
that
do
show
it
has a bad
all
final
on
season.
my own. No, I know I'm no Superman.
Yeah, that was the theme song.
Yeah.
That they had How to Save a Life
Yeah.
over that bit.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sing How to Save a Life. I don't want to make you and me cry. Because I do it.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
People sleep on The Fray because it's not 2005 anymore, but...
People sleep on The Fray because they had that one song that everyone knows.
Which one? How to Save a Life or...
I can only think of How to Save a Life.
Or
They
You
probably have
Found
more
Me.
than that. Yeah, that was a Fray song?
Yeah.
Oh, there was also Over My Head.
Over my
Which I...
head. Yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
Everyone knows I'm in over my head.
Yeah, they're a sick band.
Yeah.
They were great. Anyway, Scrubs is cool.
Scrubs is great.
Bill Lawrence was a genius.
Bill Lawrence is great.
Is a genius. He's still alive.
What's he doing now?
I don't know. If I guessed, he doesn't have to work a day in his fucking life ever again.
No, because I know after Scrubs he did Cougar Town. But
yeah, and Cougar Town was also a mild hit.
Yeah, well, actually, Cougar Town did well. It just didn't do as well as Scrubs.
Yeah.
What's he done?
Bill
since?
Lawrence, TV producer.
Oh, he did the Rush Hour TV show.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Whiskey Cavalier, which is new. Something called Life Sentence. I think that only got one season.
Yeah, he's producer.
So he's still out there being an executive producer.
Yeah.
But he was a co-creator of Clone High. Oh, and also he popped off. He created Spin City. I don't know. Did you ever watch that show?
No, I didn't watch Spin City. I knew he co-created
Spin City
because you just said that earlier, but I didn't watch
Yeah.
Spin City. Scrubs is obviously like the biggest hit, and then Cougar Town. What's Ground Floor?
Yeah. I don't know, but
Ground
Spin City is a
Floor?
TV show about working in the New York mayor's office, and for the first 4 years of its run, it was starred Michael J. Fox,
Oh, sick.
who left at the end of season 4 because his Parkinson's got real bad,
Oh, yeah.
and then Charlie Sheen replaced his character. He showed up as a new character, thank God.
Yeah.
But then the series was canceled in 2002 because the ratings got bad. But it's a really good show.
Ground Floor is about a banker who falls in love with a woman who works in his building's maintenance department. It's Skylar Astin, Briga Heelan, and then it's got Rory Scovel was one of the main characters.
Really?
And then John C. McGinley, aka Dr. Cox, apparently is also a main character.
Oh wait, I think I remember that one.
Yeah. It looks like more of a... What was cool about Scrubs is it was one of those big comedies that stopped doing the, like, filmed live in front of a studio audience type thing, where it was obvious
also
sets.
didn't try and pull it, that, like they didn't fake it. It was filmed in, like, in an office building that they converted to look like a hospital.
Yeah. Like, that's what I like.
They had real doctors working on the show.
To make it more accurate.
Yeah, because they didn't want to make a fake doctor show like...
ER or Grey's Anatomy.
Doogie Howser, ER, like...
Yeah. Scrubs, a lot of doctors will say Scrubs is the most accurate middle school show on television.
Yeah.
Because everybody at a hospital is, in fact, an asshole.
Yeah, they're all assholes in their different way.
Yeah.
JD is this petty bitch who will, like...
He's a child in a grown-up man's body.
Yeah, he has, like, he was that kid who's, like, his brother was the fuck-up and he had to be, like, real good at it, but since his brother was the fuck-up, like, his parents... He would, like, get an A and they'd be like, yeah, that's normal for you. Hey, your brother! He's alive still! Amazing! So he had, like, this fucking shitty, what is it? Inferiority complex.
Yeah.
Elliot only has brothers, so she's competitive, and that makes her a dick. Turk is a jock who isn't honest with his feelings.
Yep.
The janitor is an asshole because he's a failed actor.
Yep.
The Kelso, like everyone's Cox is an asshole because he's an asshole.
Cox is an asshole because he's an alcoholic and he's been divorced several times, but I don't know
from the same woman.
That might be a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember why. I think it's his life in the like in the hospital caused.
Oh yeah,
because
because he's
that.
like such a good doctor, but like just a fact of being a doctor is you're gonna lose people.
And well, he was that fucking doctor. They show him as like the real cool guy, like real early, because he goes above the hospital and puts like people in for like medical trials that can save their life, even though they don't have the insurance.
Yeah.
But it's like a war that he has so that he doesn't become like the current hospital guy.
Yeah.
The chief of medicine, Bob Kelso. Because there's a bunch of like interactions with them where he's like, yeah, I was like you, and then one day I had to grow up and stop doing this. And he had to become this jaded, like...
piece of shit.
Fucking... This piece of shit who was just like, yeah, I love insurance companies, I don't want to make them mad.
I love money,
I don't want
baby.
malpractice suits. Yeah. So, fucking Dr. Cox was exactly like that. Was becoming like that, and he kind of does end up like that at the end of the show. Where there's a moment where JD, in like the later seasons, when he becomes the chief of medicine, where he does a move that he would have done if he wasn't the chief of medicine, and it's like, oh shit.
Right.
This is a cycle, and you're trapped in it.
And we don't talk about whichever season was the final season. Was it 9 or 10?
Season 9. 9.
Dave Franco.
Well, there's Scrubs interns. Let me see. Is this considered the 9th season of Scrubs? Yes.
Yeah, but it was...
Scrubs interns was the 9th season.
Yeah, but it was originally supposed to be like a spin-off / sequel series. But then they just said, no, it's season 9, and then everybody hated it. But Dave Franco, though. I like Dave Franco. Dave Franco's cool.
Oh, wait, no. Interns was a web series. The 9th season of Scrubs is just Scrubs.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be
Dave
called
Franco.
Scrubs something else.
Yeah, it's called like Scrubs, like the new batch.
Scrubs the new batch. I love you, Ian, and your weird Gremlins 2 references.
There was really good, like, the cast was fine in the second part. Like, they were funny.
Yeah, it's just the writing wasn't there.
It was just, it was very much a, hey, look, once again, they're all the same.
They tried to Legend of Korra, a show that hadn't been off the air yet.
Yeah, they tried to do a Legend of Korra like a year after and say it was like 12 years later, but all the actors were still the same age. Like, granted, Zach Braff and all them do look the same still.
Yeah.
Like, they're... Like they all aged really well.
Zach Braff is starting to look like Reed Richards.
Is he? Is he getting the gray on the side of his hair?
The gray on the side of the head.
Well, anyways, Scrubs, good show.
Did you know that
Clone
the
High,
guy who
amazing
played
show.
fucking Mr. Fantastic in the fucking Fantastic Four movies, not the new one where it was Miles Teller, the older ones. Do you know that he's like hot now? Like,
No.
yeah, he's on some Australian show called Harrow, and he's like hot.
I didn't even know. I didn't even see that movie.
You didn't watch the old Fantastic Fours at the time?
Nope.
The second one's better than the first, but it also had the audacity to make Galactus a cloud. Like,
That's dumb.
like, come on, dude. I want to see my purple pajama boy. We'll see him in an MCU movie. And then,
Yeah,
much
sure.
like Thanos, instead of being evil, he'll be like, oh no, I'm not evil. I just, am a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, where it's like, oh, Thanos' plan, you're supposed to be able to relate to him somewhat. We made him more of a compelling character, and it's like, no, you didn't. His plan is dumb.
What?
And if you looked at the script for 45 minutes, you'd realize his plan doesn't make any fucking sense.
His plan is childish.
Yeah. Oh, there's
like,
too
talk
many
shit
people.
on, like, all their-
Simply kill half of them.
Yeah, but also, this is a fucking monkey's paw, you dickhead, and you kill half of the food and the plants because you said life.
Yeah.
You dumbass.
There's half the birds
Want
in
to
the
simply
sky.
make a planet that has unlimited resources.
Yeah, why not double or triple the resources? Or why not realize that hunger is not a factor of overpopulation, it's instead a factor of capitalism.
Yeah, there's enough food to go around.
More than enough.
Yeah. There's enough food, like so much food is actually straight up wasted every day.
It's true. Although during this quarantine, there's actually a lot of food being given away to food banks, which normally would have been thrown away.
Well, yeah, good. And that's what they should be doing all
Yeah.
the time. But fucking Mr. Galen Weston over here is being like, no, I care about the people, but please give me all your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom has been popping off at work.
Is she mad?
Well, she's literally kind of doing this shit where she's like, if you fire me now, I'm fucking 58. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, like, a person comes up and they're like, your lines are too long. I'm not supposed to be out this long. We're in a crisis. And she's just like, bitch, all of us are here for 8 hours.
Yeah.
She actually kicked someone out of the store the other day.
Nice.
They were being such an asshole. She was like, you can just leave your cart and fuck off. I'm done. I'm not arguing with you people anymore. Because they're acting like these fucking kids. These children at registers doing their job, wearing gloves and like face masks and shit, are immune, or they're robots and they don't see this as an issue, and
Yeah.
they aren't going to be carriers that might bring this back and murder their parents.
Well, because Ian,
And they're
working
sitting
at a
there going like, "But
grocery
I'm-"
store isn't skilled labor. You can just have
Yeah,
anybody do that, and they should die of coronavirus for not making as much money as I do.
Just remember, if you are at home right now working from home because you're allowed to, you are non-essential.
Yeah.
That means your job is more replaceable.
Yeah, if the world ends tomorrow, the people working at Walmart will win.
The people who aren't being rude to grocery store employees will not be the first to go.
Yeah. And you know what? It's kind of about time.
Let's get this boomer remover going.
Yep. God.
But let's not. Because then that's both my parents.
Yeah, I don't want my parents... Well, I don't want my mom to die.
Nathan, let's be real. You don't want your dad to die either. You just don't like
Yeah,
him.
fair enough. But,
Because wishing death upon someone is fucked up, and you should only do it to politicians.
I don't wish death upon anybody. I just simply don't wish
Oh, I
life
do.
to some people.
I was literally sitting at the table yesterday while we were like just finishing dinner, and they were talking about politics. I'm like, man, I wish Donald Trump would die, and they'd be like, yeah, and I'm like, man, I wish Joe Biden would die,
Yeah.
and they were like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Should we talk about that? Man, fuck
No.
Joe Biden. Man,
Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck the Democratic Party for
Fuck
throwing
the
their
DNC.
fucking shit away again.
in what world? Like, so many people just straight up aren't going to vote. Like, and the problem is, like, as much as I'm like, listen, they're both terrible people, but Joe Biden is easier to bully. into doing decent things.
Yeah, he's already like releasing his platform where it's like a vague like centrist version of Bernie's.
Yeah, it was the
thing.
like toned down Bernie plan from 2016 that he gave to Hillary.
I don't want to tell people like just vote. You should vote, like shit like that. Because
you should vote, and if you're
shitty.
gonna vote, don't vote Republican, because Republicans are worse on average than Democrats. And your local Democrat who is going to be voted for in the election probably deserves to win. And it may suck that means you wind up voting for a piece of shit like Joe Biden, but not voting...
Well, your local Democrat, it doesn't matter for this election. You don't vote for...
Some of it does. Some of it does go to local, I believe.
I think you just vote for the president.
I'm not sure. I think you do. I think you vote... I think you vote for your local, and that means you're president.
So, well, okay, actually, they have, like, governors and senators, so maybe you're voting for your senator, but not your governor.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Their system's dumb.
All of it is. You should be able to vote for your local and your federal separately. I can see your whole ass, Ian.
No, you can't, because I fixed my underwear.
Yeah, but I could see it while you were fixing it.
I don't need my belt on, it's just digging into my gut.
You're wearing a belt? You're wearing pants that can have a belt on them?
Yes, because I wore shorts for like the last fucking 2 weeks.
Oh, I've been wearing track pants.
Yeah, well, I have to go to work, so I've been wearing like shorts because my pants got a hole in them, and now I'm only down to my nice pairs of pants, and I don't want to get paint all over them.
Fair enough. But yeah. Don't just not
I think
vote.
everyone should adopt Australia's way of doing it.
Yeah.
All digital, multiple choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
if you're going to vote,
Voter
by the
Rights
way,
Act.
if you're going to vote in your local Democrat vote, you can still write in Bernie Sanders, and you should.
It's straight up throwing away your vote, but also it does send a message.
No, I'm not
if
saying
enough
to do
people
that
do
in
it.
November. I'm saying when it comes to your state, if you're one of the states that didn't get to vote in the Democratic primaries yet, you can still write in Bernie Sanders. And if enough people do it, like, he could win. Like, it probably won't happen because people want to vote from the list. And the list is Joe Biden or a woman who is, like, Amy Klobuchar, I think, is still in, who, as far as I'm aware, is also... She, as far as I'm aware, hasn't done any, sexual abuse, but she has done physical and emotional abuse to many of her employees, going up over the last 15 years. But yeah, I mean, Amy's not any better than Joe.
Yeah, American politics suck.
It does. This was extremely depressing because if the media didn't portray Bernie as being some, like, outspoken, fucking wild, like, person suggesting, like, crazy shit, and instead said, maybe healthcare shouldn't rely on whether or not you are employed. Maybe schools shouldn't rely on how much money you have. Like, these aren't out there ideas.
Yeah, maybe all children should have an equal chance in an education. Like, a good education, not being like, they have an equal chance of going to school and not having food to eat at home. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, maybe university should be free. That's what he said. That's not, like, crazy talk. That's, like, pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
But the media and the Democrat Party said, let's call him fucking out there and wild, and his stuff is excessive. And now look at us. By us, I mean you guys. Who have to force between, should I pick the rapist that is already in office or the rapist that is easier to bully into doing decent things?
Yeah, or the rapist who was like, I'll beat the shit out of that protest. Bring him here. I'll fight him. Fuck this guy. I'll kick his fucking ass.
At the very least, and this wouldn't make up for every stupid thing Biden has done, but if at the actual debate Biden does get in a fist fight with Donald Trump, there will at least be some catharsis in that.
It'll be the funniest video I've ever seen. Is two 70-year-old men lazily punching each other.
I'm telling you this, Biden would win.
Biden would win because Donald Trump would fucking, like, have, like, the weakest... he has the smallest hands. He'll do the less damage.
But also, Biden seems like somebody who has been punched in the face before, whereas Donald Trump doesn't.
Yeah. Donald Trump looks like a woman punched him in the face while he was trying to rape her.
I don't think that's even happened to him. I like straight up, I feel like Donald Trump has just never been hit before. And I feel like Joe Biden has done boxing when he was a boy.
Yeah.
So my money's on Biden beating him in the fist fight, but not the election.
Maybe. It's gonna be a nightmare.
Yep.
Can't wait to see all my people I follow on Twitter just go like, this sucks.
You know what's really... I've talked about this podcast on our podcast before, but there's a political podcast that started in September that was about the election. And they called it, the podcast, Worst Year Ever in regards to 2020 being the worst year ever. And God, have they not been fucking right? Have they not been fucking right? They called it.
It's just getting worse and worse.
It's like every day of this year, it's gotten more bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The world is a vampire.
No. But yeah, thank you for listening to this. I hope it brought you joy and happiness and laughs and tears in this trying time. We love you. We respect y'all. Keep us up. Rate us, review us, or whatever the fuck on whatever thing you listen to us on, especially if it's iTunes. Subscribe, follow, subscribe to the YouTube, youtube.com/N8SComedy. After this, we're going to record a video for the New Mutants thing, because that was supposed to be on this, but it's too long for this. I said that earlier. And that'll be on the YouTube eventually. You can find me on Twitter at The Media Hole, on TikTok at The Media Hole, on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Media Hole, and on Tumblr at whenyourballs.get stuck to your leg.tumblr.com.
Yeah.
You can find Ian on practically every social as Struggles V, where he has gotten recently so much clout as a TikTok star that women follow him
Never
wherever
made a
he
single
goes.
TikTok. Yeah, that'd be sick. I'd love it.
We love the boy. We love you guys. And thank you very much for checking us out. We apologize for the audio issues this time. And I'm gonna...
hopefully Nathan can fix them.
Yep. So,
All right.
gotta love you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.